Good afternoon, everybody. We are back with Dark Souls 2. So, a couple of reasons for me to try this again. I actually did a little bit before, and it turns out it wasn't streaming. So there's going to be a bit of progress. We're now in, I think it's the Forgotten Bastille or something like that. You'll see it in a second. But I turned it off and brought it, or basically went back on now. I seem to be live. My big problem was I didn't check at the time. But I decided to change a couple of things up, which probably wasn't in the... Probably isn't going to be in the VOD because that would have been a portion that was not covered. As you can see, we've got a little bit more armor. We got through the wharf, and we wound up taking a ship to this area. And I've decided that I'm going to be trying a shield up. The fact of the matter is that the dodging is not doing what I really want it to do. So I figure I'll sort of change it up until I get a better idea of dodging if I still want to do that. And this is translated into, I don't know if you'll notice between VODs, but this is definitely a little bit of a shorter roll, which I think will probably wind up causing me some troubles, but also I'm going to have a bit more armor because of these items that I've got. So we'll carry on through. One of the other reasons why I want to do this, in addition to just maybe getting a little bit more practice on streaming on YouTube, but I also really want to identify what's not working for me with this game. I feel like the last couple of times I've streamed, now again, I've been streaming like really early in the morning / late at night, which may be contributing to it, but I feel like I've been getting angrier at the game than I should. So, just kind of trying to take... I want to try and figure out where all my casting magic went. So, yeah. Try to learn Dark Souls and maybe try to learn how to be a good caster again. Especially a caster who, who deals with a smaller chat like I used to. It's one thing to talk a lot about that experience of starting casting, but I don't think that advice or those stories mean as much if the caster who I am today can't actually pull off some of the things I did earlier on. So it might just be this isn't the right game for me, which is possible and fair. Oh god, this guy. What do I do about this? I really don't want to die because I've got all these... I've used a human effigy. There we go. Upgraded the Estus Flask. We got, in this case, it's not a Firekeeper Soul that you'll use to upgrade your flask. It's, I believe, the ashes of a saint who threw himself into a bonfire. Where is that dog? So one of the appeals here is I have upgraded quite a bit of my stamina. Hey, how are you doing, Jesse Quill? Good to see you again. I think you're going to be my only and most loyal YouTube viewer for a while. But I definitely appreciate you stopping by, as always. So we've changed up the style a little bit. I'm going to be going kind of sword and board. The drawback is that there's less damage from the weapon. I was kind of hoping to do two-handed weapons and lots of dodging, but the dodging hasn't been working out. So instead, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on, you know, having a good shield, being able to run the marathon, and I've counteracted the fact that I can't do, you know, I can't do dodging or I can't do a lot of damage with an individual attack. I don't know, there's a couple of big streamers. I think Wedgie was here a little bit earlier, so like when you watch, it doesn't actually say that there are it doesn't say that there's anybody watching. Yeah, I do. That's the first thing that I thought as I started putting this stuff on. I'm looking more and more like a Skyrim character. My weapon winds up taking a little bit of damage if I attack because I always hit the ground, but I'll try and show you what I'm trying to do with this one. I won't work on these dogs because I've always needed to do 2 attacks anyway. So, where was it? When I was here last. So there's a bonfire in there, right? There's a big crack in the door, and when I first came here, this guy kicked a barrel at me. Is this bugged? Is he not gonna... Is he not gonna do it? Oh, that sucks. So that gives me nothing to work with. So I'm pretty sure that that barrel is supposed to wind up taking out the ow. Pretty sure that barrel is supposed to wind up taking out this big crack. It doesn't seem to make any sense to have it there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to head to the last bonfire and see if I can force it. Anyways, seeing as I'll be going back, the big thing here is now that I've bumped up my stamina, that's the number of attacks that I can go on, and as long as I can sufficiently stagger someone, which is, again, going to be a function of that stone rig that I have, I can get away with a little bit more. So, I'm going to be boring for a second and run back to the last bonfire. Actually, I might have enough souls for another level, so let's see if I can do that. But yeah, so what I'm trying to do on this playthrough is, number one, get my attitude in check, and then number two, try and find out either how I can enjoy the game or quantify what's going wrong, other than I seem to be dying a lot. 4,400. I mean, I'm almost tempted to hammer a soul pack just to try it. I ran into a guy I could sell stuff to earlier. I wonder if he wound up here. Probably not. Can I sell something to the poor dude? I mean, these all seem neat, but it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to, doesn't make a lot of sense to buy this stuff, because I'll just wind up getting it in a dungeon anyway. Alright, let's see if the piggies can give me the souls I need. No, they do not. That's only 24 each. Ah, well. Maybe the blacksmith will buy stuff off of me? I'm definitely not going to go back. Yeah, not worth it.
Don't waste my time.
How was Easter dinner for you, Jesse Quill? Oh, actually, another thing that I had meant to do was I was going to go left on that in that area where we ran into the really tough White Knight. I figure probably better to do a little bit more around the Lost Bastille first, just to sort of say that we've exhausted it, maybe beat the boss. Again, another wonderful looking background. And after that, we'll maybe think about some of the other adventures that we can get into. Oh, invaded. All right, this will be interesting. So there should be allies who come to help me. And the PvP in this thing sucks. So that's just a fucking awful place to get invested. Okay, so that one I died fair and square on. The PvP sucks because the last time that I went after a guy... So what's supposed to happen with my Covenant is there's supposed to be allies who come in and protect me. That definitely didn't happen. So the whole point on doing that in an area for PvP is you can sort of take advantage of the skeletons sort of running around doing their thing, which is what that guy did. The PvP sucks because when I voluntarily went into PvP with a guy, he would do an attack, and like I would be across the other side of the arena, and I would take damage. So like, there's massive lag problems, and it just translates. Okay, here we go. Or maybe this is So this is probably AI then. That would actually explain why I wasn't running into those lag problems. And probably explains why... Jesus, the crossbow guy's coming after me still. God, I'm doing worse than this last time. I think I'm dead. Oh, nope. This is definitely not a human-controlled player. Hey, Runebroder, good to see you again. Sorry I'm not a little more talkative, but I'm fighting for my life. Okay, I definitely was hitting my shield for that. I think I might die from this. Maybe not. There we go. Why the switch to YouTube? Because it would let me show this game in a better light. Basically, if I stream on Twitch, I'm gonna have to like lower the bit rate down to 2500. I'm currently running at, I think, 4K, maybe 4500. Thank you, Jesse. Oh, please don't fall over the edge. So number one, I would have to stream it at a lower bit rate, which would make the game look not as good. And you do have the option of streaming at 60 frames a second. But it's not a very good stream if you're not partnered. So the idea here is that I'm number one constrained in my bitrate. I'm gonna stream at 2500. And so if I want to try and stream 60 frames per second, I'm taking that 2.5K and I'm splitting it over twice as many frames, and it means that the stream looks even worse than it would be. So in this case here, I think you'll notice that this looks quite different from my normal streams, and that's just because it, it has this advantage of having a higher bit rate and running at 60 frames a second. Okay, this is gonna suck. Like, just man fighting is the way to get out of that. Yeah, exactly. So, and this is the nice thing too, Johnny Sack, or sorry, I'd say Johnny Sack, but Runebroder. The big thing about this is that I'm able to sort of retain the people who started watching me because I had, like, you know, low graphical quality, or sorry, lower requirements, because I had, like, that really low bandwidth when I started streaming. But still, like, be able to appeal to the people who have, like, the bandwidth to support it. Like, I've probably got even with my, like, upgraded internet, I still probably have one of the lower upload or download rates. I think my download rate is probably equal to some viewers' upload rates. And so in this case, I'm able to get a few more options, right? If I do YouTube, I automatically get transcoding options, and more importantly, I get to have you know, the VODs automatically brought up. I don't know what's been going on with Twitch recently, but I haven't been able to send these new oh yeah, this place is awful. I'm going to refrain. But yeah, I mean, personally, I've been having a couple of dropping problems lately on YouTube, which has stopped me from saying that it's a strictly better platform. That was my opinion before, and then I started running into a couple of problems. But even then, like, I definitely, technologically, I prefer it to Twitch. The only drawback is that it's very difficult to try and tell people, hey, come change your viewing platform. Does YouTube have a partnership deal, or should you disable ad blockers? I mean, obviously, do what you feel is right. I have not monetized any of my videos yet. I may do that in the future, but like I know a guy who is well known in okay, so he's just not gonna kick that thing down at me at all. So let's try something clever. I know a guy who's reasonably well regarded as far as okay, now I need to figure out how. Have I not figured out how to use my crossbow? Is this it? Ah, there we go. Alright, so what we're going to try and do here is anger this dude. There we go. Alright, that's what we wanted to do. Now I need to find a way of equipping my weapon in time. I am so screwed. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, I know a guy who's relatively well known for Total War. And like, he's doing alright for himself as far as money goes for YouTube. But like, I think you would be surprised as to how much, or rather how little money there is to be made in the videos. So, but the simple answer to your question is, like, if you're looking to support me, the only, I mean, so there's two big ways, which is number one, be here. You are actually rare in the in my viewership in the sense that you have actually crossed platforms to you know, to come and support me on YouTube, and that means a lot. And then, you know, if you're looking for monetary support, which again is always appreciated but never required, obviously all of that information is on the Twitch page still. But yeah, there's nothing that I've set up in terms of partnership with.
Oh, why can't they all be this easy?
With YouTube, yeah.
We've got a wild one here. Shape up. Shape up, I say. Oh, that's it, yes. That's the way.
This guy enjoys blacks.
How brightly you burn.
I think he enjoys blacksmithing a little bit too much.
I ought to fetch a new ember. Flame, dear flame. I ought to fetch a new ember. Flame, dear flame.
So I wonder if he's gonna try attacking me if I open his chests. Actually, one thing I can say about that powder keg incident. This is one of the, I think one of the very common tricks that Dark Souls does in terms of finding secrets or something like that. So again, you can see the bonfire through this gate here, and so what you sort of need to do is you need to pay attention to sort of the layout of the level, see where it makes sense for there to be like another room. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is not good positioning. Jesus. I think I might die. I had no idea there were so many of these things. Alright, not exactly how I planned on spending that Estus, but we'll work with it. But yeah, so, I mean, I think one of the big markers for me for a game, and I mean, part of this is just a matter of like my intelligence or something like that. Sometimes I am a bit of a moron when it comes to puzzles in games. But I always sort of say it's like, okay, you know, if I didn't have access to walkthroughs on the internet or something like that, I did keep my hat. It's very important that I violate every Bethesda copyright in the retention of my hat. I guess you can't really copyright the Dragonborn, but yeah, so like obviously I get the impression that there are some games, you know what, if I go by these barrels, they're gonna blow up. So let's move them back. This is a big and very frequently used trick that they've put into Dark Souls 2. Is putting up these powder kegs and having kind of enemies attack you and blowing you up. But yeah, I was going to say, there seems to be like a lot of games now which sort of are built assuming that there's going to be a wiki available that everybody can check out. And it's not the same. Okay, I haven't gone there yet. Hope I don't do something dumb like die on the way over. Oh, that's to force me into a fight with two of these. I see your ways. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, so the big one for me is whether or not you can say it's like, okay, could somebody who didn't have access to an online walkthrough have reasonably figured that out on their own? And I suppose, like, if there's a wiki, there's still, like, somebody who needs to figure out that puzzle for the first time. But then, I mean, you possibly have somebody who, like, opens up all the level files or something like that and just finds it out that way. Like, there's a number of confounding factors. Thanks, Jesse Quill. Oh, God. Do I really want to use it on this? I guess I kind of have to, otherwise I don't make any progress. It's really interesting how they use these fragrant branches of yore to kind of halt your progress in this game. This game is pretty great if you like games in this genre. I mean, so I'll admit, Runebroder, I have had a lot of trouble getting into this one compared to the original Dark Souls. I've been getting really frustrated with it. The rolling doesn't quite seem to do what it did in the first game. Yikes. Just like piling on the challenges. 4 of them? Oh my god. Yeah, so if any single one of them catches me on my own, I'm done for. 5?! What is this? Can I, like, close the door? Oh, I can, actually. I don't think I'm surviving this. Haha! Okay, I need to heal up. But... Oh, you're kidding me. That's how I... Fair enough. But yeah, so I'll admit, there've been a lot of times that I've been a little frustrated with this game, or actually a lot frustrated with this game, because rolling doesn't seem that effective anymore. There's a lot of stuff like hitting the wall and like the enemy not taking any damage, and that, but you'll still have like enemies that attack you through walls, and you have to contend with that. Definitely a lot of things that I am not a big fan of. But I will admit, you know, in defense of the game, I am warming up to it. Alright, so I can trigger those too. Good to know. And I think the big thing that's kind of holding me off from giving a ringing endorsement of Dark Souls 2 is I'm not entirely sure. I think this game is harder than Dark Souls 1. It feels like if there is any added difficulty, it's a fairly artificial one through, like, you know, again, oh, rolls don't do what they were supposed to, or something like that. Okay, so I do take a little bit of damage if I don't have enough stamina. That's interesting. As long as I get my souls back, I'll be happy. I should actually maybe consider spending them before going back into that room, because that seems like a fairly easy way. Oh wait, I can't, because I have to jump over this thing. This is the problem with the shield strategy, is that it's kind of a play not to lose proposition. You can't keep up your stamina forever, unfortunately, so... crowd control on the 5 dudes who are gonna come and wreck me. I think it's really funny that I can close the door, though. Oh no, I just need to be a little smarter in how I aggro them. I've handled 2 before, so I should be able to do it again. So yeah, one thing I'll say is I sort of feel like I need to be a little bit more deliberate in my attacks and my riposts. The bosses are maybe a little bit more different. The bosses are a little bit more about focusing on movement and positioning. These ones, it's a little bit more like find the opening and then run through it. Okay, I'm gonna close the door again. Oh, I thought I was closing the door. Damn it. Alright, that kind of puts me on the back foot. So what I want to try and do is cluster them up. So I can do this. Oh, that's bad. Okay. This is... Well, I mean, what went wrong on that one was I went to close the door and it didn't stick. So I think if I can do that again, then that's enough CC and I can get through it. Gonna fight it if I don't have to. I'm almost wondering if the right way is to just... Oop. Yeah, there we go. Hey, he's immortal! It's very annoying that these don't have a backstab. And I don't like I'm using up this heal already, but... Should be a little less cavalier about running or rolling over those boulders. I do have about 14k souls that I could potentially lose. So, as always, priority 1, pick up the souls. One of the other things I'll mention, Runebroder, if you've not seen this stream before, unlike the original Dark Souls, when you died, it's not completely without consequence. So, I mean, obviously you could potentially lose your souls and stuff like that. That's always been a factor. But another thing that happens is you lose a little bit of your max health each time you die when you're hollow. And so you need to, like, it's not possible to really hoard humanity, or in this case human effigies anymore. You actually need to, use them, otherwise your character is significantly weaker. So 20k souls, I want to be a little more careful about how I move around. So the problem with that is there's going to be a bunch of them that come rushing out at me, and I don't know if I can close it off in time. But what might be an idea here... Oh, they de-aggroed. That's weird. I hear them moving, but they're not coming to attack me. Oh, so this is a neat one. You can actually just run in and close the door too. It's an alternative strategy. One thing I'll say, there does seem to be a bit of a trick that they try to use in mobbing you. I'm not entirely sure how I deal with big crowds. It tends to be my death if I ever encounter that. Okay, so there should be 3 of them on this end for me. Oh my! And they can attack you as you close the door. That was poorly thought through. Alright, have a good one, Jesse Quill. Thanks for stopping by as always. And there's still 5 of them. This is spooky. Fortunately, I have a plan. Oh no! No, no, please, no! This is a mistake! I didn't even think that I wouldn't be able to close it on the other side. Alright. I've really done it for myself now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my souls back and then I'm going to homeward bone. Just because I've lost so many souls already to, you know, to incidents like that. And I know those guys are going to... those guys are not going to get any easier. They're going to be something that I have a lot of difficulty with. Yeah, somebody was mentioning that YouTube was not allowing them to post links. I believe I could probably disable that by like turning off the spam filters, but the big question for me is why... I guess I was gonna say, I can never really think of a time that I've cast and said, oh, thank goodness somebody was able to post a link. I really needed to deal with that very moment. It's always been like somebody wants to show me or somebody in chat something kind of fun, and I always appreciate it. But, like, it's a time and a place. Like, the big thing, the reason why some casters get very ornery about, oh my. Okay, so I have to get those souls. God, where'd they go? Well, I'm back to where I started, but at least I recovered them. I wish there was a way to turn off the messages. I guess I can play it without, I could play it, not connected to the internet, but... but yeah, anyways, I think the big reason why some casters get a little ornery about links and stuff like that is it's content away from what they're making. And I mean, obviously people can watch what they want, like no content creator owns their audience, but for me, you know, it's always a time and a place thing. And I figure that anybody who has something that, you know, I have to see can probably just show it to me in Discord. I was hoping he'd blow himself up. So that's the kind of stuff that's really frustrating me with Dark Souls 2, is that, you know, there's no... Oh god, no, don't open the door. Okay, that's another good example of, like, hitting a door and it kind of turning into a little bit of an impromptu immortality for these guys. That's the stuff that drives me crazy in this game. And again, it's decidedly in the favor of the game, so the game will kind of attack you through seemingly anything. I guess I said I was gonna homeward bone, didn't I? But yeah, it's just those are the sorts of deaths where I'm kind of like, you know, I don't know what to do in those cases. It's kind of like, you know, I can't anticipate a you know, I can't anticipate something like a you know, a halberd kind of coming through the wall, and so I just wind up taking damage unnecessarily. Alright, so I think I was gonna upgrade my vitality. I was thinking like my... So if I do my vigor... Oh, this is HP and equipment load, which is really tempting actually. So this will give me 908. Oh wow, that gives me a lot. So I think I'm going to take these both up to 20, and then my decision has to be between vitality and strength. Hey Kite, how are you doing? Great to see you again. As you guys probably already know, Kite is another broadcaster on Twitch TV alongside Jesse Quill. And we're all members of a team called Team Panda. And of course I'm on YouTube tonight because I'd like to show you the, you know, the quality that you get on it. In fact, Kite, this is probably the first time you've been by... Oh, you know what? No, I don't think I'm going to blow an effigy yet. I'm okay, Kite. I'll admit I've gotten a little bad-tempered playing this game the last couple of times I've done it. But I'm trying to figure out why and improve on it. But yeah, so I think for those of you who have not seen me stream on YouTube, never seen YouTube gaming, so the really nice thing here, and if you ever want to consider this for your own casts, as you notice, you automatically get transcodes, and if you are on the highest option, I believe you'll get to see this in 60 frames a second, and so it should look substantially better than my Twitch broadcasts, which is sort of the reasons why I wanted to make this a YouTube gaming exclusive, because I did Dark Souls on Twitch. No, it's a shame. Say, I did the original Dark Souls on Twitch because it's sort of locked to 30 frames a second. You don't have to worry so much about the image quality. But this is running at 60 frames per second, and pretty consistently at 60 frames per second on this machine. And so I thought, you know, to do this blind playthrough of... oh, you know what? I forgot to update the stream title. Ugh. Want to use up a heal yet. But yeah, so I thought, you know, I'd just be able to bump up the settings a little bit. YouTube's actually quite open in terms of what bit rates they'll let you stream at, which kind of, in my view, gives streamers a few more options. And I thought probably it would be good, because this is a slightly higher graphical fidelity, I would make it, you know, I'd do something special. I thought I'd put my shield up for that. You can, say, you can do 60 frames per second, but the catch here is that because, like, so what I have to do on Twitch is I need to treat every viewer like they have the same internet connection. And so I either appeal to the very high end, which means that it's just not fun to watch at all on for people who don't have like the same bit rate that I'm streaming at. And that is something that happens. You know, maybe you're doing a download. Maybe there's a lot of different reasons as to why you may not want to be dedicating 4 megabytes to streaming video. So my option is I either need to cut out the lower end. No. I either need to cut out the low end, which is not really a viable option in my view. Or I need to... Alright, let's see if we can be smart. Ow. Okay, as long as they keep coming out one by one, I can handle this. I'm loath to do this, but I'm going to blow my last heal. YouTube's tried a lot of stuff in the last 3 to 4 months. I mean, I think this has been more or less the same from the start of YouTube gaming. I can't say this for sure. But like the big thing here is that the fact of the matter is that I would like to stream this at 60 frames per second. Even if you don't have a high resolution, I think going to 60 frames per second is actually a great way to make your cast look quite a bit better. And because I have to sort of appeal to this broader audience in terms of bit rates. Why didn't I close that door? The cardinal sin of a game like this is if you have non-responsive controls. It's the way you lose me really quickly. Yeah, so the big one for me was that because to have the broadest appeal to an audience, I'm not going to raise my streaming until I have transcodes. I'm not going to raise the bit rate above 2500K. That sort of seems to be the sweet spot in terms of okay, that's a trap if I've ever seen one. So I don't think the I personally don't think the like the 2500 kilobyte rate is negotiable. Like that's if I'm not going to have transcodes, I don't want to go any higher than that. Because then I start being unwatchable, and I think the most disrespectful thing that I could do to viewers would be is like, oh hey, thanks for getting me established on Twitch. I'm now going to broadcast in a way that you can't watch the broadcast in a way that you can't watch the show. And so in this case, I figured YouTube would give me the bandwidth. So the main thing is that if I go up to 60 frames a second, I am now taking those, I'm taking that already limited bandwidth, and I'm now crushing it even further by dividing it amongst the the extra frames. So it's a really long-winded answer. You obviously got it. But yeah, like if basically the reasons why I'm streaming on YouTube are they're not reasons a partnered streamer would want to stream on YouTube. But this is the big thing, right? I actually think for a lot of smaller casters, YouTube is the better platform. As long as you can get people watching you on it, YouTube will actually let you have a better broadcast. And obviously you can establish yourself. Nice. So how did this guy die? Oh, he didn't die. He's just playing the game. But yeah, I think for a smaller cast, it's actually a better option because you know it allows you to have a higher quality stream. Seriously. Drop to nowhere. Anyway, sorry to take so long to answer the question, but those are my reasons for being on YouTube. And yeah, as Kite says, you get it because on Twitch, reviewers can't change the quality on Twitch unless you're partnered or have X number of people in the room to get transcodes. Exactly. And I mean, I think it's even good for somebody who regularly gets transcodes. I actually think the YouTube option is a good one because you can't change from 30 to 60 frames per second. Whew, okay. Ow. I'm gonna fall off the edge. Drink up. This is bad. Oh, God. And there's really no easy way to get to those. Okay, I'm not starting off with health loss. That's just silly. I can do better than that. But yeah, so if I were to be streaming on Twitch, I wouldn't actually be able to... You really just trust Twitch more than... I wouldn't trust Twitch at all. But... I mean, I don't quite know what it is that you're referring to, but Twitch has absolutely no credentials for what they're doing other than Justin TV, which was sort of very ad hoc. Twitch has done absolutely... This is the big thing that drives me crazy, is there's a lot of people who... there's a lot of people who... treat them as if they owe Twitch something. It's like, we're the ones who are generating content on Twitch. They don't exist without us. And so I think it's really weird that people are like, oh, you know, I just can't see myself leaving the platform or something like that. It's like, why? You know, if you have a better offer from someone, you know, Google itself has... you know, its own issue. Like, basically any Silicon Valley company is kind of tainted with this whole, like, non-compete agreement nonsense that's driving down the prices of the programmers. And it's awful, right? These are very wealthy people eking out a little bit more of the pie for themselves at the expense of the people who are actually, you know, who are doing the real work. Oh, okay. I'm gonna be able to get away with the cheap-ass move this time. But yeah, like, the big thing is that Google is sort of well established in its ability to sort of handle some of these issues regarding like personal information and delivering, you know, online services and such, right? Like, this has been their MO for a very long time. Twitch is basically run by a bunch of people who sort of got lucky, went to a Y Combinator, you know, meeting. And I mean, it's not to say, like, they're a successful company, right? Like, this is a... you know, it's a good thing that they did, but the big thing for me is that they've done nothing to earn my loyalty, right? They earn my loyalty by providing a good service. And right now, YouTube is unquestionably offering a better service from the supply side to me. The catch is that if people don't want to watch me on YouTube, that doesn't count for a whole lot. So. But yeah, talking with some people about Twitch kind of has this really weird cultish feel. And again, people have their own priorities and what they want to get out of it, but I am very much for sale as far as loyalty goes. Give me a better service, give me a way of of doing better on a platform, and I'll start using it. Until I actually sign an agreement with somebody, I don't see any reason to give away my option. So I think what this might be bad. I think I can just go down the stairs and wind up at those bosses again, but I'm not entirely sure how I wind up getting my souls back. So let's start by closing the door. What they don't see won't hurt them. Ah, there's more than one. Well, same trick as before. So in some ways that boss fight seems very straightforward. It's 3 of them, but as long as you sort of manage the attacks well enough, you should be able to get through. I am a little perplexed as to how I navigate it though, and especially how I deal with the crowd control on that. This one I can do cheap things like sort of moving through all the parts of the level. Against that boss, unless I stay up... So actually, here's the other thing that is going to cause me a little bit of confusion. How I manage to... How I managed to get my souls back without... Actually, I may have to give up the ledge. Alright, I think this is going to be a little troublesome now that I think of it. I'm still going to wind up having to take the 5 guys on. Oh, cool. Okay, this is probably a bad use of this, but let's see if I can use... I'll give myself a little bit of an edge. I'll use an effigy just so I can get my full health. And for that, I'm gonna have to use my last heal, but I'm not as worried about that just because I'm not gonna be using that in the middle of a fight. So as long as I keep my balance, I should be able to do some pretty good work on this guy. It's kind of neat to see the animations on these guys. Ooh, I got really lucky on that. Oh, that sucks. Okay, I can at least do a plunging attack on it. Ooh. I gotta take an Estus. Oh, are you kidding me? And I lost all those souls, too. So I wind up taking a lot of damage from that drop. That's a real shame that that happened, because I should have been able to take that guy out on the top. You know, I should have maybe just avoided trying to get the health. Actually, what I should have done was just taken the Estus. I didn't have that primed, so... still not a bad use of an effigy, though, because it... I'm at least back on full health. So I don't think this is a particularly difficult boss, but definitely I'm not doing... I wonder if you just stay up on that higher level if they come up to you. Hey guys, ooh, that's the first that happened. I should have seen that coming though. Now guys who go, Woot, are you from Twitch, or... Oh, I shouldn't have used the Estus. I should have used my heal. Oh well. Are you a, somebody who's come in from YouTube? This is something a little new that we're trying out here. It's a blind playthrough, and I am not at all good at Dark Souls 2, so... I hope you didn't come here expecting Again! When I hit a button that says close, I kind of expect it to do what it says. I wonder if they can follow me. Oh, they can. Hey, how's it going? You're from YouTube, that's fine. You don't tend to enjoy watching new players play. All right, well, I'm glad you get something out of that, because I will admit, actually, I've not been happy with the last couple of casts that I have done of this, just because I've gotten very frustrated with the game. I'm trying to get past the fact that it feels like rolling is very uneven in terms of its ability to protect you. And I seem to be hitting walls a lot, and doing no damage. So I think graphically it's wonderful. It's actually why I'm doing it on YouTube. You probably heard us a little bit earlier talking about the fact that I can stream this in 60 frames per second and like have transcode. So some of my viewers from Twitch who have lower bandwidth are still able to appreciate the stream, but I'm not necessarily penalizing people on the higher end with a lower quality stream. But I really appreciate you stopping by. I didn't really expect to get a lot of foot traffic here, and I was going to do, you know, I was just kind of going through. Oh, all right. Looks like I'm committed. When you get paid in 4 days, you'll get bread and cheese. I'm letting myself get staggered a little too much. I need to just stop being greedy with the hits. Yikes. Dumb of me. Okay, let's not let him take the excuse to fall off the ledge again. Ow. That was dumb. I think I'm going to need to use some repair powder before I go to the next part. Drink! There we go. Alright. Oh, you know what? I don't have any repair powder. I hope my weapon doesn't break partway through this. Okay. Oh! Oh, that's dirty! Okay, good to know. I don't see a lot of scenarios through which I survive this. We'll do our best. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, gotta find a way of... I'm getting away with murder on these Estus drinks. Like, make yourself comfortable, chat. This is gonna be going on for a while. Oh, I got over-eager. Sorry for no commentary, but... I have to think very hard. Yeah, I'm very excited for Dark Souls 3 as well. It's kind of what made me want to play this, just so I could have the experience. In reality... Ooh. think this is... Yeah, that's gonna cost me dearly. I mean, I'm using up a lot of consumables on a fight I may not have much of a chance of winning. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but... They also are not impossible to deal with. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's just very natural to it's very natural to deal with the name that I see on stream, and it's also a little tough to keep track of the correspondence between who is who. So sorry about that. Yeah, I don't have a PS4. It's not a PS4 exclusive, though, is it? Oh, God. It sucks. I really hate that you can't roll on the tail end of that. This is a good opportunity, but of course it is. How do I deal with this? I mean, I kind of need to switch weapons, but doing that with these guys breathing down my neck, I definitely can't roll when they do that, so... I mean, that would be a huge coup for Sony if they did get it as an exclusive, but I don't have a PlayStation 4, so that would mean I'd just not play. I think I'm losing this weapon. Okay. The big question is, what do I switch it to? Yeah, so am I. The only thing is, like, the big problem right now is dealing with this... Well, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Whoa, that's a new one. Oh, this is bad. I know I have some... There's... I also completely forget which one is weaker. Oh, of course. All right. Oh, this is it. Yeah. I spent so much only to fail in the end. All right, well, that was educational, I suppose. So in the interests of that happening again... Okay, I can get a bastard sword just by going directly to the right. I'm really hurting for gems, but that's fine. We'll work with it. Huh. Oh yeah, see, I die a lot, but then that's kind of the point. Like, the first Dark Souls I did without consulting walkthroughs, and like, I was hard, but I felt really good at the end of it. Like, I felt it was definitely a highlight. Okay, I can't seem to cross. There we go. So I was trying to recapture some of that in this playthrough, but I don't know. It's not quite been what I was thinking it would be. I'm getting a little bit more into it the further that I go, and if I recall, I found it hard to get into the original Dark Souls. Oops. It's always wind up being such costly mistakes. Oh, you know what I can try, actually? So let's ditch the fire sword for now. Let's go for the bastard sword, and we'll minimize the damage that that takes until we're ready for the boss. Ooh. Well. That's really frustrating. Oh well. Not so sure about this moveset, if I'm completely honest. I'll make it work though. Oh yeah, and I don't get this thing with the game like suddenly having mercy on you for like you just kill the same boss over and over and over again. So it's that was very foolish of me. I should have known that was coming. Oh, you know what? There's a big problem with the bastard sword, which is I don't get as many swings as the long sword. Can't take refuge in the barrels, I need to remember. I mean, it's nice that it's got this big flaily action. Just because it lets me sort of clear out the guys on the edge, but... Alright. I don't know why that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. So, drink. Let the idiots chase me. Problem solved. Didn't quite anticipate those guys, but they did some of my work for me, it looks like. Alright, so there's two things I can do. One, I can try and... You know what? I think we'll go whole hog on this because I feel like I know enough about the bosses this time. So I will, against my better judgment, use an effigy. Let's see. I'm not so sure any of this will... I mean, temporarily boost stamina recovery speed is kind of cool, but not... Yeah, I think I have what I need to... So again, the effigy may prove a very foolish decision because I could just die again. But I do sort of want to be at peak health. This one I'm kind of have to take a lot of stamina damage just so he doesn't fall down. Ouch. Okay, I'm glad I didn't go over the edge on that, but this is going to be tough to heal up again. Risk it. That was just a really bad run of that overall. I think maybe I can switch to two-handed when they have their back turned to me. Similar insanity as before. There's another one of those fine examples of getting hit through a wall. Oh, that's foolish. Alright, so as I almost die to that single guy, might as well use the other one. So I think now that they've reset, I should be able to just close the door on it. Nope, they're back. It's just the two, right? I'd love to get just a good backstab in on one of them, but easier said than done. It's really unlucky. I thought he would die when... thought he died when I hit the urn. I was not so lucky. Now the real dilemma here is whether or not I use like a life gem or an Estus flask to top myself up here. Oh Jesus Christ! Decision has been made for me! I'm curious if they can attack me from here. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, and they're back. The thing I'm scared about is if I fall over the edge swinging. Or, you know, I try to attack and they get a free hit. Yeah, there's no winning in that. What I should have done differently would have been, when they were down, I should have just jumped, got to the fog gate and ran in. So I think, if I remember correctly, I'm almost at the health level I was when I first used that that effigy on the boss. Ah, well. Okay, that's bullshit. If you get a backstab and then you have to pay by taking damage, you should be immune when you're doing that. The salt is coming through, you can feel it, right guys? See, I sort of get it. If I'm closing a door and it's a perfectly timed attack at the end, but I mean even then it should be sort of like if I'm holding down my shield button, my shield should go up. I don't know. It wasn't like this when I played Dark Souls. I keep picking up this common fruit, but I don't actually see... Oh, here we go. Poison resists. Okay. Not exactly what I wanted, but... I think I'm just gonna do the cheese like I did last time. Haha, you morons. Oh, God. Okay, I can't... I think now this is just run for your life. Oh God. That's right, back off. We did it, Reddit. So has to be a better way for me to avoid that stamina damage. Oh, that is really unfortunate. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, that I'm calling BS again. at this point I'm happy to get even just a little chip damage in. I think it sort of resolves itself as long as I can maintain that pattern. I'm also a little less scared of knocking them over the edge now that I know that they jump back up. Well, I mean, the trick here is that, like, the people who've done the Soul Level 1 runs know how the bosses work, right? Like, they've gone through the game, they know how it works. I'm slowly improving, but having the, like, so whenever I've tried to do things at, like, a lower level than I did the first time. Alright, nice. Oh, they just line up. I wish I knew where he was coming from, though. Okay. If they both come up here, I'm in a very sad state. Kinda crowded. Oh, yep, they're both up here. Alright. I think you've seen how this story works. I'm going to focus on Alessa if I can. I actually don't want to take the target off, if at all possible. Minor improvement that they took away the shields, I suppose. Costly mistake. I mean, reasonable damage, but not... I basically took out my last heal to do that. The other thing I have been neglecting to do is I can actually get away with a little, like, just a little tap when they're walking up to me. I'm fast enough on my attack move to be able to recover after doing a little hit. But yeah, so the big thing about, like, Souls level 1 runs is that so in this case I've sort of figured out the boss, and now I'm on, like, implementing the strategy to win. But if you've, like, played Dark Souls, if you've beat it, then a Soul level run is... or Soul level 1 run is a little more feasible just because you, I hate the fact I'm using the last one of these things, but... I also need to make sure I time it right, hopefully when they do one of these jumping attacks. Ah, that's very good timing. But yeah, so there's an example where, like, because I'm not kind of mature enough in the game yet, like, every time I make a mistake, I wind up paying in the form of, like, an Estus flask. So if I don't, like, this trash that I'm going to be running into up here, if I don't kill it efficiently, basically, like, every time I take damage from it, that means that I'm going to expend a heal to contend with it. And it all adds up, right? That's one less Estus flask I have for the boss. So, again, on soul level 1 runs, basically just what happens is you can't afford to make those kinds of mistakes anymore. Your stats just don't allow it. But it's the big thing in Dark Souls is the equipment. So as long as you have the stats for your equipment, you're good. And again, soul level 1 means that you're going to be, you're necessarily going to be constrained by... I'm not going to close this in time. Yeah, so here's a perfect example where, I took damage that I didn't need to because I was too slow in a response. Oh, God. They're a lot quicker than I thought they would be. So here, I get to keep all my Estus flasks. The next thing I'm going to have to do is time them a little bit better so I can get the most use out of it. Yeah, see, there's an example of a mistake where I'm going to have one fewer Estus flasks to use than I would have. And also I'm going to have to give up some opportunities to do some damage to use it. See, now I don't have any options. Now I'm going to have to use the Estus flask, and it's possible I die in the process of doing that. So again, I've gone from 5 to 4, and in that case that was just because I got a little bit greedy on the move. So let's do one of these heals. That's, again, just preserving my consumables. Oh, no! I thought I switched back to my sword. So that wound up costing me a lot. Fortunately, I didn't fall. But there goes my second Estus for a mistake. And I mean, ideally, I take this guy out without using up any of my consumables. Nice. I'm really curious how I get to... that corpse. So here I have to drop. Oh, now that's going to be bad because I can't heal back up. Risk it. And it paid off. which I should be moving towards my souls. Not that I'm not confident, but... Alright, so just try and turn this into a little bit of a waiting game. Make them pay when they, make them pay when they move in. Even if it's just one attack at a time, that's just a slow whittling down. As long as I don't take damage, I'm still in the game. It'd be nice if I could top up, but I don't. Again, I don't want to be wasteful with my consumables. In this case, he was running in for an attack, so I don't respond. This might be a good chance. And in that case, I don't go for the second one because then I would have gotten flattened and I wind up sacrificing a flask. And I'd love to attack, but I don't know what the guy on the left is going to do. So again, not a ton of damage that I've done on the boss, but it's also been a little bit of a stalemate in terms of what kind of damage they've been able to do to me. And here, I get over greedy and I wind up paying with an Estus Flask. And potentially a death, because if they combo up right, I get wrecked. Okay, so now's a good time to try. And I've got one more of these to use. So, little tap, just because I can get away with it. 2 in that case, because they both finished a special move. And all of a sudden we found that they're at half health, and they don't have any surprises to take my stamina down, right? Basically all the remaining move sets are going to be things that I know. So it's just a matter of keeping both in vision, which I'm failing to do right now. And make sure that when I go in for an attack, they don't have a reply. And that one was definitely really greedy, but I knew that his companion would be away, so it didn't work perfectly because I wound up taking some of that damage from getting knocked back. But if I get a good opportunity to drink an Estus, basically both of them have to have done an attack that'll... Okay, so that's an example of one. When they're both a little bit out of commission, like when they're stuck after an attack, I can... So this might be a good opportunity. Okay, Estus. And I'm pretty sure Aliesa falls. Now, if that was a twirling attack, I would have had my stamina eaten up. So tap and head back. A little more costly because it was an overhead attack, but I am still in the game. You know, one thing I might try when they, when I have to fall over the edge, I might try hitting a life gem. Ooh, that could have been bad. Okay, so again, staggered, but I accepted the staggering just because I can take out the, I guess it's Riche, or Rice. So in this case, wait till he does a big attack here, so now I can pop a life gem rather than go in for the attack. And this is all familiar territory, so... Oh! Okay, let's not get fancy. I wanted to try and take advantage of two hands, but in that case, I potentially leave myself open to an attack like that. So it cost me a life gem, but it's not the end of the world. And so I'm just gonna stick with what I know, do what I did to take out the first guy, and move through as best I can. Yeah, see, I'm getting really sloppy because I'm getting close to the end, but this guy can still very easily kill me. So I'll wait till he does another big attack. Pop a life gem. And wait for it to have its full effect as well, because I don't want to suddenly find out that I don't have enough health to continue on. It's a bit of greed there, but... I always need to prepare for the backswing on that. If I don't have enough stamina to sustain, or to withstand it, I shouldn't be going in for attacks. It's another example of an attack that I should do a little more... Okay, staggered, so... Oh, costly! Alright, another life gem. Again, wait till he does a big attack. This'll work. In that case, I'm just going for the guaranteed hits, because my stamina was low, and now we dedicate everything. Alright. So... I'm fairly sure you will find other people on YouTube who can show you an efficient way of doing that battle. But that one was just a... So what a lot of this stuff kind of feels like to me is a little bit more of resource management. So again, I have only so many life gems, I only have so many Estus flasks and so on and so forth. And the priority for me was just, you know, here's the potential cost to me if I go in for an attack, and I wouldn't necessarily give up any... I wouldn't necessarily give up more than what I think I could afford to lose in a given attack. So for instance, when they come after me, I think I can jump that gap. Yay! So the idea here is to consider things like health to be a bit of a resource. Oops, that was bad. You know what? I hate using consumables this way, but I don't know what's up. And I've got 41,000 souls. Like, that's gonna be heartbreaking if I wind up losing it, so... I can always buy a life gem with the souls that I save. Ooh. Have you noticed from my movements, I'm a little nervous. But yeah, so the big thing for that was to try and find out... Okay, so I wound up wasting the lifestone. I'm a little curious. What does this guy look like? It is not a guy, it's a lady. And she has a crown, so... In this case, we're gonna go to town, and we'll get to some levels that I was hoping for. So anyways, sorry, I was trying to explain what I was trying to do on that fight. Basically, each action sort of represents a possible cost. So if I go in for that extra attack, you know, there's a possibility that I'll take some damage. Is it going to be enough to kill me? If it kills me, it's not worth it. It's like losing your king in chess. On the other hand, though, it's like, will I take some damage if I commit to 3 attacks instead of 2? Yes. Is it worth it? Well, if it takes out one of the bosses, it does, because now, in that case, I'd already killed the first guy, so that cuts the number of things I need to worry about in half. And again, when the fight was going well, I was focusing to that kind of, I guess, cost-benefit analysis in a sense. And when the fight wasn't going well, it was usually because I wasn't respecting the math, if you will. So, in this case, I said I was going to get my my health up to 20, and then so the idea here. I think I also got a Estus shard. Oh, I don't have one. So the idea here was going to get my vigor up to 20, so I just need 6. I could pop a soul pack for that right now, but I don't think I will. I've already got my endurance up to 20. Now it does seem like some of these traits will give you more. So for instance, increasing my vitality will increase my equipment load as well as health. What I might do is prioritize strength until I find a weapon that I like. Or maybe I'd prioritize, I don't know. I do want to get these two to 20 because that sort of seemed to be, in the case of endurance, that sort of seemed to be where the stamina gains diminished. And I'm going to guess that that's the same for health. But I could be wrong in that. I just have to, I guess I have to see for myself. Now I was thinking of wrapping up fairly soon. I actually have a bunch of grading that I need to do, but let's at least take a look and see what we can do here. And it looks like that soapstone sign is gone. I was going to try and show you PvP, but I don't have the option anymore. Item behind. Door and then left. I actually don't trust these signs at all, so... something's killing people, though. Oh, that's dirty. Alright, let's see if I've got an intelligent weapon. Aha. I'm looking for gentle ways to break... Or, you know what? Here's the gentlest way to break that. Ah, Bastille key. So I think that will kind of get me through these towers and such. I'm not quite ready to go exploring yet. I want to see what's in this building first. I don't really have a systematic way of going through... Oh! Alright. This is probably going to be to my John Cena. Why the hell not? Summoning failed. They've already used the sign. Alright. I'm not at all good at PvP, so that would just be me suffering an ignoble death, but I thought I'd sort of show you what I contend with. Let's slide down the ladder. Yes, his name was John Cena. Oh no, not this guy again. I think maybe it's just better if I run. What? Okay, so running is the right option here. I'm not entirely sure how to deal with that guy, to be completely honest. Oh man, he just comes no matter what. Alright, well. Today we become a man. I don't like being a man. Ow. Being a man sucks. You know what's easier? PvP is easier. So it looks like John Cena won his match. Sign has disappeared. I mean... I'll try it one more time, but I really don't think there's a way for me to... Hey, CPO Williams. I'm glad you did too. All right, let's try this one more time. Let's just, again, be smart the way we deal with it. Oh, I just do no damage to him, though. You know what? Screw this. I'm getting the item and leaving. Large club, yay! Ha! Ow. Okay, shouldn't be dancing on his grave. Oh god. I forgot about that attack. Well, now I have to go back down to get my souls. I should warn you, CPO Williams, we're actually probably going to wrap up relatively soon. I definitely need to get my souls back. Ooh, okay, that's a dirty, dirty trick. So, you know what? Oh, he gets 3 attacks? Jesus Christ. Okay. Keeping between the ladder is definitely a nice strategy. I don't think it's quite enough for me to take it through to the end, though. Curious if he goes away. Oh, that's what it's called, the Pursuer? Easy. Just gotta outsmart him. Also don't remember if I have... yeah. Yeah, so for those of you who are here from my regular cast, I'm definitely interested in getting some feedback on the quality of the stream. I think so far the consensus is that it's noticeably better. But one of the intentions behind doing this kind of stuff is, you know, figuring out what... You wholeheartedly wish that it was a mimic? Yeah, that would have been funny if it was. Normally I punch stuff to figure out if it's friendly, but obviously if my little friend... I seem incapable of backstabbing in this game. Obviously, if my little friend was gonna pop out of the floorboards, I didn't want to lollygag, so... That's a I'm going indoors sound. Quality-wise, much better running it on 720, and it looks... Yeah, okay, that's good to know. So, again, we talked about this a little bit, for those of you who are here from the beginning. It seems the same to you, but you can't chat if you have to watch from your phone. Okay, interesting. Out of curiosity, CPO, do you have this on the 720 quality? But yeah, so for those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the cast, sort of the reason why I've been trying out this YouTube stuff is it allows me to stream at 60 frames a second. And as a result, like, it kind of lets me show the game. I didn't think that would be the effect of that action. I love backstabs in this. Hey, it's Han Solo. So, basically the idea here is to try and disentangle this stream from being like a 2500K stream only, and instead sort of focus on being able to give the option of 60 frames a second and, you know, a higher quality option for those who are interested and have the bandwidth for it. Now, if the differences are not that substantial, obviously Twitch has some benefits in terms of being the sort of thing that people are more familiar with. Ouch. This could get bad in a second. So obviously Twitch has the benefit in the fact that everybody already knows. Yeah, but see, Evan, when normally when you roll into a barrel, it just shows you the gunpowder. They don't normally explode when you roll into them. So. And you can tell the ones that explode because they're black. Ah, way too slow. But yeah, so the idea here is if I can give a measurable quality difference, then I just like the idea of doing these like special casts where it's these special casts where, you know, we get to do something a little bit unique. So, you know, show Dark Souls Scholar of the First Sin in its full glory or something like that. But, but if the benefits aren't there, then, you know, then it doesn't work. I mean, again, personally, I actually prefer YouTube to Twitch, from a technology standpoint. But again, it's part of the competitive edge that Twitch has right now is the fact that sort of there's the network effects that people are already sort of in the platform. And so it's a little bit harder to say to people, it's like, oh, hey, come check out this other, you know, streaming site. So, like, Hitbox, if you're a non-partnered streamer, actually has a lot better arguments for streaming with them, because, like, you get partnership right away, there's revenue sharing, you know, you get transcoding, you get all of this stuff. But again, people are really invested on this Twitch platform. I think the thing that Twitch is able to get away with their like with the non-partnered casters is they can kind of dangle the carrot of partnership in front of them. And so with that in mind, everybody's like, you know, well, I won't rock the boat, you know, I may not get partnership. Well, the nice thing here is that's not really a credible threat for me. I'm not going to be partnered for a very long time, if ever. And so, hey guys, go woot. I think you missed the defeat of our nemesis, but it was a satisfying win. It was a bit of a tedious win, but it was satisfying. Now, it's really interesting, all of these statues that block the way, just because the only way, like, it's the means of getting rid of them are actually quite rare. I'm not sure if I'm missing something, or if it's deliberately that way, that you have to pick. You'll watch it later? Oh my. Don't check out the other VODs. You'll just see me being really angry. It's actually kind of nice. I've noticed it's weird not having as active as a chat. It's been a while since I've done that, so I think it's taking me a while to sort of get back to that format. But yeah, so I was talking about Twitch and kind of the, not wanting to rock the boat because of the hope of partnership. I really wish I knew where that was coming from. Oh. Oh god, are you serious? Yikes. It's something like the, I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like kind of wood. It's just, it seems so rare. Alright, I don't even want to imagine what horrible things are behind. Sinner's Rise. Okay. We're really going in deep here. Hello, friend. It's more of a question about finding where to get them. There doesn't seem to be a direct farming place that I know of. And if you know of farming places, keep it to yourself. I have to do this on my own. I really wanted to get by without getting crossbowed. Too slow. You don't know of any, so it works out for the both of us. Excellent, guys, to go out. We will learn this together. Please don't fall off the edge. Oh, thank God. I like effigies. I feel like I have earned an Estus. It's getting jiggy with it. I thought this was going to go up. Keep moving. Alright, I'm gonna make a guess that whatever's on the other end of that fog gate is probably something I don't want to fight yet. Something's killing people. And there's an item there that's tempting me. Oh, you know what? These are mummies here. Aha! So long, sucker. Oh, there's an item there too. It's definitely not a mummy, though. Alright. I'm gonna see if I can get that item. I will find out what shield that is in a second. A lacerating knife. Blossom kite shield. I think this is the one that we picked up. It'll look a little more knightly. Let's risk it for the loot. Holy God! What is that? Oh my God! This used to be a boss! Help! Help! Is this time? I regret nothing. Fight me. I wonder if it has as much health as in the boss fight. I'm thinking probably a bonfire visit to spend souls and otherwise prepare myself is the right call for that. I mean, the other thing, though, is that if this is Sinner's Rise and that's a fog gate there, it could just be like a second part of the level. I'm not entirely sure what like the big boss is supposed to be. It's a lot more ambiguous in Scholar of the First Sin as to who like the final boss of an area is. Like, there's an entire second half to the place, like, so not the wharf, but before the wharf there was an area where we could go left or right, and to the left there was a fairly tough white knight that we couldn't get past, and so we went elsewhere. And so, you know, even in this case here, I sort of consider this to be the first half of this area that I went to at the very beginning of yesterday's playthrough. I wish I knew what was making that sound. Hey, bonfire. In fact, now seems like a fine time to get my level 20. This greed does not become of me. I don't know. Worked out. Alright, so I don't get to practice raising the level on the other one, but I'm fairly certain 20 is kind of like, it's not like a cap, it's like a, I don't know, like a soft cap or something like that, but a, I just think it's the, I think it's the point where you start hitting, like, diminishing returns. Oh, this is not... Okay. Screw this shield. I would have taken a lot of damage from that. Let's maybe try this one. My rules leave a bit to be desired. Okay, we'll use this as a trial run. Okay, still taking damage. Or maybe I've always been taking damage and I just never realized it. I guess I can't run from it anymore, can I? The real question is, do I face the... Ooh, not good. I wish I knew how to kick. That seems like it would be very helpful in this game. That is one thing I will accept as not backseating, is if any of you happen to know how to do a kick like in... I'm an idiot. Happen to know how to do a kick like in the first Dark Souls, that would be very helpful. Okay, so I do wind up taking a little bit of damage. It's probably always been the case and I've just never noticed. But yeah, so I'm not sure if what's behind that fog gate is supposed to be like another boss or what. But I'm thinking for this we'll just bunny hop our way past the scary guy. I just want to see what's there. Holy God. Oh my God, why? And... okay. Could be worse. Right, these are the guys who were causing me a tremendous amount of grief before. I'm not quite sure what triggers the ones to attack, but I'm decidedly happy that that one is not, so I will not question my good fortune. Oh, neat. I wonder if they realize they can come and do some serious damage to me. I mean, this would be a really cool spot to... Well, okay, you know what? I've already given in to greed once. I think as long as I take them on one at a time, I'll be okay. I just don't know about the double-headed guy. I mean, I've beaten him once before as a boss, but if this fog gate is hiding a boss, I'm setting myself up for a world of hurt. Nice Crusader Kings reference. Individually, these are not that frightening. It's just if you don't quite know where they're coming from, they will do an upsetting amount of damage to you. Hello, friends. Again, potentially something waiting under the water here for me, but... Ooh. I like those lock stones. Oh, we're here already. I guess the other ones have cleared out? If they have, then what I can sort of do is double back until the, I can't remember the actual name of this thing. But I can sort of double back to see. Ah. Are there 4 of them? It wants me bad. I don't think that's worth fighting. Keep slamming my sword against the wall, and all you think you can hit. It's like, why doesn't it have it about 20? Well, I mean, like, I'm not deliberately trying to... This game actually does penalize you for hitting the wall. But I'm kind of limited to... Oh, the sword can break, though. I'm kind of limited to the moveset that I'm given. So, you know, flailing around like a fool is my only real option at the moment. I'm hoping that's oil. And there's a side of me that kind of wants to pop an effigy and heal up before going behind that fog gate, but I mean, that's going to be a lot of health that's just dedicated to learning a fight if it does turn out to be a fight. On the other hand, there have been stuff behind these fog gates that, you know, have been... I mean, so the double-headed guy I got on the first try, there was like I think it was a Dragon Rider boss. Again, got that on the first try. Out of bosses, it was only the last giant, which actually wasn't that difficult of a boss. That I died on, and then the trio. Yeah, we'll do it. I mean, one of 2 possibilities. It's a boss fight, and I'm a little better off. Or it's not a boss fight, and I'm just better prepared for whatever comes up. Oh, looks like I've got a real boss fight. It's like a serious customer. So something tells me the second half to this fight is going to be him taking his, whoa! Taking his, okay. Ow. See, I'm thinking his hands aren't bound for the second half of this fight. Damn it. Ooh. So one thing that sucks about his moves are that his tendency to jump back. Ugh. I need to let my stamina heal. Yeah, so if he gets far enough away, you actually break the lock. Like that. And that can wind up pretty devastating as far as your damages. Ooh. Oh, this is a mistake. I need to dodge a little bit more. Problem is that I have more success when I actually block with the shield. Oh. Let's see if it was worth... Nah, it really wasn't worth it. Oh! That's a dirty trick. The catch is if I put too much into rolling, then I pay for it in either not being able to attack, or if he does a follow-up attack, I feel it. This is a really neat little fight, though. It definitely feels kind of very like a proper sword fight, like a lot of kind of attack, riposte. I like it. Okay, hit the gem. Ooh, that was a costly blunder. That one could have been as well. Okay, definitely need to smarten up. I could have sworn I had my shield up for that. This is going to be a little rough going. So I'm only going to go for like one attack until I can heal up. I don't get why he's damaging me like that. Oh, this could be it. Oh, the greed. Okay, I need to wait till he does a double attack. Life gem it. And I'm dead. Damn it! I didn't anticipate that properly. Fortunately, he's pretty easy to get to, so just make sure I preserve my healing tools. this really gonna make me fight these guys? Oh, for God's sake. I really hate it when it makes you do those, makes you do that trash. Especially when it's something like, you know, oh, you pulled the lever, but we're not going to count it because you took damage. Anyway, at least I don't have those souls to worry about. Ow. Hey, Jesse Quill. We're on our probably our last boss fight for the evening. It's a really neat little fight, but I'm not being smart about it. So hopefully we're not here for too long, but we'll see. It's such a weird animation to look at. I did fairly well on him the first time, so it shouldn't be... I keep forgetting about that second attack. A lot of stamina damage. Oh, this is gonna suck. I should just stick to what I sort of know. Every time I try to get fancy, I wind up paying for it. Like that, trying to go for the second attack. I always wind up paying. This is gonna cost me too. Drink. I think that's the way to do it. See, that one I could have got away with the second attack for. Big trick is when he jumps away when you counterattack, it actually leaves you kind of short on stamina. So if he does if he does 2 or 3, you potentially get staggered. But I've kind of tried to adapt that in how I'm fighting him. Oh, that was really stupid of me. So I'll just get that stamina back. I am getting a little greedier with the hits. The one thing is that I can sometimes get away with it. I haven't quite figured out when he jumps away, but I sort of can... Ah, see. As soon as I say that, I wind up getting punished. Alright. I'll wait till he does a double attack, and then I'll Estus up, and then we'll try to finish this. That's what I really should be circling around for. I've definitely been able to dodge the thrust. The big problem with going for more than one attack is actually the stamina cost more than anything, but... Okay, we got this. Thank you, Evan. Probably would have been better if I got it the first time, but I don't know. I'm reasonably happy with the way that went. Thank you, Jesse Quill. And thank you guys, Goat. So yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it always kind of comes back. I'm sorry I don't talk a little bit more. Visions of item. I'm sorry I don't talk a little bit more on, you got it the first time I'm here, so. Oh, hang on. I think this is the, I think I got the item that... Yeah, there we go. Fragate Branch of Yore restores petrification. So yeah, I'm sorry I don't talk a little bit more about the boss fights, but basically... Ooh. Okay, so this is... I think this is like the first proper boss that we fought. And my guess is when we go to that stone map, we're actually going to see... We're going to see a second fire lit.
You have acquired the soul of an old one. That is more than most undead can say.
Oh, don't have a shard. Okay, so it's still giving me 20. That's giving me 1, though. So. Alright, so now I'm a little mystified as to where I spend my souls. I think I'm gonna have to think about that for a little bit. But yeah, so the big thing for me about most of the bosses in Dark Souls would be there's sort of that first stage where you're learning. You need to, you know, think a little bit about what the, you know, what the moves are, what you can dodge, what you can sort of escape, and things like that. And one of the things that I've noticed is that normally, oh, I haven't renewed my stuff. I'll show you where I want to go before I go anywhere else. I don't think I'll spend a lot of time here though, because I don't really want to... I don't really want to lose these souls. Yeah, exactly, guys, go. So, like, there's the first part, which is like, okay, I need to figure out what this boss is about. And then the next part is, alright, now that I sort of know what it is, like, you form your strategy, and then from there you implement it. And the implementation can actually be the longer part. That guy was fairly clear from the start what I sort of needed to do. But actually being able to... You know, actually being able to pull it up. Oh! These guys are pissed! Fortunately, I'm a little stronger than last time I've... Whoa! Oh god. Okay, this is a mistake. Let's get them away from my bonfire and then I'll just rest up there. So long, suckers! God, this is gonna be really hard now then. Let's go back somewhere safe. I do not want to lose 54,000 souls. But yeah, so like those guys, I had the hardest time trying to learn how to fight them, and it was just a matter of saying, it's like they usually have a faster and a better reply to anything that you do when you, like when you fight them. So, you know, it seems like they're showing their back, so you go in for the backstab, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they turn around and just hit you with a really intense attack. And so, in that case, it's very much kind of the strategy that I've been employing for a lot of these boss fights, which is, you know, turtle up, wait for an opportunity, and slowly chip away at them over time. And I don't know if that's just the way that you play Dark Souls 2, or this is the way that it's turned out for me. I've since given up this whole idea of, you know, using two-handed weapons. It definitely seems that, you know, building up my tank is the way to go here. So we definitely have a second flame.
Even more flames have appeared.
Oh, you can backstab them too.
I don't
Okay.
know what causes it. I would not venture far into that hole. It was blocked by a wall, something built long ago. But it was crumbling, and I finished the job. Now a foul sound echoes within.
All right. So I've actually already been down here. That's how I lit this torch. This is actually, by the way, the one thing I absolutely love about this is just sort of looking at the lighting compared to the original Dark Souls. Just all the different environments, the color, the atmosphere is really, really fantastic. So I'm a little sad that Bloodborne didn't wind up on PC, just because I think, you know, this character model I could kind of take or leave. This is kind of a cool little bit of armor, but it's still, I don't know. I think From can do better, and they do better actually with the design of their enemies. But looking at these environments, I mean, we'll end with a beautiful vista. Yeah. Well, you know what, guys, that means a lot. Obviously, you came here just from YouTube. Now, I will let you know, I am actually primarily a Twitch streamer still. Having great viewers like you is something that's making me, you know, reevaluate that. So if you're interested in seeing me play stuff other than Dark Souls, that's over at twitch.tv/SystemChalk. But I'll admit, the first two times that I did Dark Souls 2, I was getting really frustrated. I wasn't having a good time. And I'm actually starting to feel like I sort of have this game down. I'm having a better time doing it. And let me just say, guys, this was a lot of fun having some people in the chat to, you know, to interact with as I'm playing this game through. So, progress-wise, we've taken down the Last Giant, we've taken down the Lost Sinner, and I think what I'm going to try and do is take that other half of, I can't remember what it was called, but that place I ran away from the White Knights from. I think I might try and see what I missed there before moving on. I have the ability to sort of undo the stone curse and move on to the next part of the level. But that's it for me tonight. I actually wound up streaming a lot later than I was intending. I was only going to do like an hour, and now I'm at the third hour. And I have a lot of grading that I need to do. So I think I'm going to go to campus, I'm going to take the exams, and I'll probably just wind up grading them at home, and then just try and deal with all this other stuff that I need to do. So again, let me just take a minute here and say thank you everybody for watching, stopping by. This was a lot of fun. It's probably the most fun that I've had on a YouTube stream so far. I want to do more of it. And I'd also like to take a quick minute and shout out my fellow team members on the Twitch team, Kite260 and Jesse Quill, both wonderful streamers, and if you like watching streams online, these are some great people who I think you'd have a lot of fun watching as well. But as I said, that's it for me tonight. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next time.